Good morning, everyone. I now call the Committee on Small Business to order. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare a recess of the committee at any time. Prior to opening statements, I want to note that pursuant to Committee Rule 3E, the Democrat witness for today's hearing will be appearing remotely. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the letter of approval of the Majority Leader Scalise, and without objection, so ordered. I now recognize myself for my opening statement. Welcome to today's joint subcommittee hearing entitled Leveling the Playing Field, Examining the Landscape of Veteran-Owned Small Businesses. First, I want to thank all of our witnesses for joining us here today. Your presence here and your time is very much appreciated, and we all look forward to your testimonies. I'd like to specifically give a shout out to Stephen Haydock, my constituent from Long Island, from Suffolk County, a Vietnam veteran, and my own constituent. Thank you, sir, for being here. We appreciate your service to our nation. I'd also like to thank the VA Subcommittee on Economic Development for joining us in this effort today, specifically its Subcommittee Chairman, my friend, fellow Navy veteran, Congressman Van Orden, who will be chairing from time to time. We're going to swap out as we have other duties that require us to be elsewhere. Today, our subcommittees will be focusing on how we get our nation's veterans more involved in the contracting space and more involved in Main Street in general. We must address the alarming decline in the number of small businesses receiving federal contracts, having been cut in half over the last 10 years, with the number of small businesses entering the federal contracting system decreasing by nearly 60% in the same period. We all know the crucial role Main Street plays in increasing competition, innovation, and stimulating our economy. Yet they have been systematically squeezed out of federal contracting for decades. Unfortunately, this decline in small business contracting comes as no surprise as the Biden administration actively steers our economy and national security in the wrong direction. Veterans should have abundant opportunities in this space, and our nation's veterans bring unique skills to the marketplace. We must ensure they have the resources they need to compete in the procurement marketplace. They possess innate leadership and entrepreneurial skills and qualities that cannot be taught. Unfortunately, oftentimes when veterans attempt to transition back to civilian life, that journey can be extremely challenging. Entrepreneurship is a fantastic way for veterans to regain mission focus, but it is no easy process, especially thanks to today's current economic landscape brought to you by leaders in our administration. Veteran-owned small businesses should be able to easily operate in the contracting marketplace too. Sadly, the bureaucratic red tape, and there's a heck of a lot of it, challenge small businesses who are forced to navigate this extremely harmful and burdensome process. Needless to say, this complexity of these barriers makes it even harder for small businesses to enter the federal marketplace. For example, involvement in federal contracting requires a sufficient understanding of the long and cumbersome federal acquisition regulations, defense federal acquisition regulations, and the applicable regulations in the Federal Register. Together, these documents are over 94,000 pages long and require thousands of staff hours to read. Veterans and small business owners at large should not have to do this just to merely compete. It is our job here in this subcommittee and the Joint Committee in Congress as a whole to give veterans a fighting chance after all that they've done for our great nation. This subcommittee's mission is to create a pathway for small businesses to succeed, and that's why today's hearing is absolutely paramount. I hope today's discussion will lead to real-world solutions that will enhance the lives and realities of our veteran-owned small businesses, and I thank you once again for joining us today. Your real-world experiences will help us make meaningful improvements to ensure small businesses are fully utilized in the federal procurement marketplace. We must work together, both parties, to stop the decline of small business contracting and fight to keep Main Street open for business.